Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for your lots of love, appreciation, and the following for my podcast. So, you know very well that I'm conducting a series of podcasts with international experts in various fields. So, because of your encouragement and lots of valuable feedback, I'm continuing this journey. So, as a part of this journey, today we are going to discuss about a wonderful concept. It's not a science fiction, but it is going to be a reality in the coming days. What if your email is getting to be hacked? What if your bank app is going to be in danger situation? What if your data is under risk? That to your sensitive data like your social security number, your bank account number, your personal identifiable information. Have you ever thought of it? We all treat data as gold. Now you all know that data is more valuable. The current situation, we have to protect the data, and we are using encryption as of now. Say, for example, if I want to tell you about encryption in very simple words, it's converting the known form to unknown form. It's all about converting the known form to unknown form. Through my podcast, we discuss all the complex in the simplest manner. So just I'm giving you the simple definition of encryption. It's all about converting the known form to unknown form, and decryption is all about converting the unknown form to known form. So encryption is done at the sender side and decryption is done at the receiver side. What if this encryption is broken? So there comes the topic of our discussion. And what if the quantum computing becomes reality and is going to break the encryption and is going to create a kind of problem for all of us? So I have lots of doubts regarding this, and you all have the same doubts. I know about it. And to clear all these valuable doubts, we have an international expert, Anna, who is a quantum cybersecurity and teleportation expert. She is the CEO of Quantum Security Defense and QuantumPrime, and she is rated as top 10 women in engineering, and she is an eminent speaker and educator. She also hosts a weekly quantum innovation show. She is from Germany. So thank you so much, Anna, for accepting my invitation. I know you are very much busy in your workshops, seminars. You are very much engaged in these quantum related activities. But even then, you spared your valuable time and you have given us your precious time. Thank you so much for that. So, Anna, can you please introduce to my audience?
Yes,
Can
so
you
I
please
am
introduce yourself to my
maybe
audience?
I will correct. So I am located normally in Germany, but I'm originally from Poland, and I've been awarded this Women Award also in Poland. Just to maybe make that clear, I am a physicist by background. I studied nanomaterials and quantum field theory. I did the various type of research projects, some with radar systems and also simulating air pollution. So it's a very broad range of mathematical physics and computer science also problems that I've been doing over many years. And then I also had a chance of working as a patent engineer in the field of AI, quantum, and blockchains. And now I am doing entrepreneurship. And the QuantumPrime that I lead is a slow, deep tech project where we focus on teleportation, which is technology I'm very excited about, but it's not yet that mature. for bringing to the market. However, in quantum security defense, I work on supply chain orchestration. It's an advisory, education, and community-based company, and we work on behalf of our vendors and individual members to give them visibility, to explain their technology, and to help them grow their business by orchestrating projects for them, collaborations, and whatever they need. Yeah, so that's me, and that's my businesses.
Thank you for letting us know about you. Here, I wanted to know, can you please let us know the simplest way of defining quantum computing? What exactly is quantum computing? Everybody does know about it, but I wanted to know from you what is actually quantum computing. How do you perceive it?
On a high level, it's a change in what type of problems we can solve. So it will allow us to look deeper on the quantum level of properties, for example, of materials. So our world is quantum, and quantum computers, the way they process information is inherently quantum. And so quantum computing, when one wants to think about it, when one is not inclined into digging into all the technical details, is a new form of computing that will allow you to solve some of the problems super fast. Some problems that maybe would take a million of years on a classical computer because of the complexity, because of exactly sometimes quantum aspects of the problem, suddenly quantum computer will accelerate. So quantum computing is not here to substitute, classical computing. It's here to offer additional acceleration for problems that we could not address classically.
Super. So that was a real clear explanation of what exactly is quantum computing. I have a curious doubt from my side. To what level we have reached in this quantum computing area globally? So, like, what is the current stage of quantum computing when it comes to experimenting or when it comes to implementation? What exactly is the current stage of quantum computing globally? How do you perceive it?
So there are already quantum computers. The issue is how many qubits they have. And qubits is like bits, in a classical computers. That's so we need way more computational power for the quantum computers. However, the current states of hardware is that some problems can already be solved on quantum computers, and there is a lot of projects going on to test algorithms that could offer benefits to businesses. It's all quite early, but with combining many fields of error correction and special designing of the algorithms, searching also for specific parts of the problems that are really well suited for quantum computers, can already offer very interesting results. And a lot of companies around the world and governments are exploring those use cases. But on the other hand, that's the optimistic take. And then the pessimistic is that we're still searching for more use cases, for more business problems that we couldn't solve before, that quantum computers could solve now. And that is an ongoing research to keep exploring the possibilities of quantum computing. We are like very early. You have to think like if you want to compare it to the classical computers, you're like on the beginning, when they had a giant computers, and only a few people could do something with them. That's where the quantum computing is. It's very early, but it's very fascinating what they offer. And it's definitely a field that will be surprising us going forward, because there is a lot of push, there is a lot of interest in developing it.
So you are working in this field and you are totally visualizing everything regarding this. So by what year do you think, Anna, this quantum computing is going to be much more like a reality in implementation? So what do you see? Now we are in 2025. So by what year do you think this quantum computing will come into perfect picture and perfect implementation everywhere? So what is your perception?
Well, I guess it all depends on the appetite, what the perfect should be. But experts and also the roadmaps that comes out of quantum computing companies, there is a consensus that around somewhere between 2030, 2040, we will see lots of advantage from quantum computing. But it's hard to pinpoint an exact moment, as it's not only a hardware development, but it is also software development problem. And as I say, it's also the appetite, what this super powerful should mean. It probably takes really long time before we all gonna have a quantum computer added to our desktop, computing as an accelerator. But if they can offer a lot of advantage to businesses, that's already interesting. And then from cryptographic point of view, of course, that's a big and highly researched topic, is like when it is dangerous to our cryptography. And there it's also difficult, of course, again, to predict when, but it's coming, and it's coming quite soon.
Quite soon. So we are waiting for it. And I hope how it is going to change our strategy of working style. As you know, maybe uh, in the coming days, I may be working on a quantum computer. That is what I'm thinking about. I'm excited about. So here I wanted to know about quantum breakpoint. Anna. What exactly is quantum breakpoint? How do you define it in a simplest manner?
Well, quantum breakpoint would be a moment when the quantum computers can threaten our infrastructures or offer such an advantage. So that's the negative part, right? So it's a dual use technology. You can use it for good or for bad, right? So I think the breakpoint would be good to define with both. On one side, the breakpoint is also if it will offer such a huge advantage to companies and problems, and it will accelerate the development. But of course, it's much more important, on the other hand, to worry where is the breakpoint comparing to a cryptography. And that breakpoint would be when it can really hack our systems, when it can get to the bridges of data, because our RSA and ECC cryptography that secures the internet, banking, and our infrastructures can be broken with powerful enough quantum computer. And that can lead to a lot of chaos. And that would be the break point when we get there.
So in this scenario, I just wanted to know when it is going to happen. So I know it is a highly hypothetical question, but I just wanted to know, like, is really quantum computing break the encryption? Is it really going to make our data unsafe? So if so, when it is going to happen?
Well, I guess we should make sure that it will not happen. So we
It
we,
shouldn't
we
happen.
it should not happen. We should be updating our cryptography. So it so in the ideal situation, we will be able to update our cryptography before the quantum computer can break it. But yes, the algorithms for quantum computers, those that we know, but we also should be aware that there is always development on the side of the algorithms to make them the new, better, maybe more effective for quantum computers to attack our cryptography. It's there is already some international competition who will be breaking it first. So it, despite despite from one side it being something that might happen, it's also something that a lot of people are pushing for, this or the other way, and it will happen. And then it will be just the same one. The more, as we discussed with the quantum computers, once they are powerful enough, that powerful enough typically is defined by them being able to break the cryptography with currently known algorithms, which is very important. And the algorithms can also change, so and develop, so it might get pushed faster, closer to today.
Okay. So, if we take this as an aspect which is going to create problem for us, do you think these big companies and governments, they are ready to fight against this kind of problem? As we already discussed that it should not happen. In worst case, if it happens, this kind of quantum breakpoint. So, are the big companies and governments, are they ready to fight against this kind of problem? How much we are equipped with it?
Well, the NSA, NIST, in Germany, for example, BSI, all those institutes, they are already talking about it. They try to spread the word about post-quantum cryptography. There are available algorithms that came out from NIST to as a favorite choices, at least by those agencies, to implement, to test. I would say that it's very complex. It's a very complex problem to solve, to upgrade the cryptography. On one side, there is still a lot of disbelief that this is really a problem, because it's very convenient to doubt it, because it's so much work and it's so complex, and things like that. And on the other hand, you have people that are totally on board. They are trying their best, that they want to push it, to implement it into their institutions, into the governments. But what they face is that it is a very young field. So the way we've been doing cryptography has not really changed for many years. And suddenly we have to update it in a enormous way, on a scale like never before. And what we are facing is that even the proposed upgrades from NIST, the new cryptographic solutions, they haven't been around for long enough. They are not perfect. A lot of people struggle what to choose, and at the moment, I think that even if someone really wants to, they still struggle with how to do it. So I guess I would say that no one is doing enough. No matter what are the intentions, I think we still need a lot of push on many different levels, on the governance, on the support. I believe that we will get to the moment where on the national levels and international levels, there would have to be a support for the companies and infrastructures to implement it faster. And, it's I would compare it a little bit to the situation we had with Corona. We knew the pandemic would come one day. Everyone knew. Every country has something written about it, in the risk assessments, how do they will treat it, and so on. And yet again, it's not something that you really want to spend a lot of money, and the truth is, we will have to do the same mobilization, global mobilization to update our systems as we had to develop the vaccinations during the corona. And so everything that at the moment is difficult, when the moment comes, I have no doubt we will be working like crazy to deliver, and it will come. The solutions will be there, they will get implemented, and it's going to be crazy, but it will happen. But at the moment, we're not there, we know that at that break point, everyone is like, oh, maybe I have still a few more years to go. There is this doubt, it will not happen. Everyone is crossing their mind. It's not next year. Let's just, um, and that's okay. But everything what we can do before that point will make everything what happens after that point so much easier. But in some way, I think we were just gonna have this corona moment, unfortunately, with this hair on fire suddenly.
What you told is 100% correct, Anna. The thing is that people wait for the problem to really happen, then only they try to find the solution. So, might be this podcast which we are discussing may open the eye of many, maybe, and people
Hopefully,
may start more working on this.
that's the mission, right? To spread the word and keep talking about it.
Yes, that's really awesome to know about it. So, in this contest, Anna, I wanted to know, it should not happen. I'm also praying for it. But if it happens, how badly it will affect if the current encryption goes wrong? So, what is your visualization on that? Let us assume if the current encryption is totally wiped out because of this kind of quantum breakpoint and all. What can be the scenario that is going to happen? What is your visualization on that?
Well, you will have a lot of breakage of data and sensitive data. I mean, we already know that we have harvest now, decrypt later. So every data that is now being overtaken, and if there is a quantum computer, will be broken and analyzed and obviously used to advantage whoever have that data, and that will of course influence a trust, international trust between the governments, if it's like on the governments and states that will be involved in taking over the data. But then of course you will have different criminal organizations that just might want chaos for chaos reasons, or want to take over the data to earn money, sell, and that would create a lot of digital distrust. And if you think about it, that now we already live in this AI, like some people say it's already a post-truth, the world, and now we will add to it that there's gonna be constant a break of confidentiality of our communication and data. Well, you might not be able to pick up your phone, you might not feel safe to send things, it will impact businesses, livelihoods. We are highly dependent on our digital identities, on our exchange of information. So I guess one can go pretty wild, in this catastrophic way and chaos. I think again the pandemic is quite good comparison. Like there's gonna be this amount of distress, but I guess because we just had this pandemic experiment for good and for bad. We've learned that as humankind and global community, we are ready to tackle the problem. And I I would hope that that's what gonna happen. That if there's gonna be this immense power of quantum computing, bridging the trust in our communications, there's also going to be plenty of people that will be working really hard to establish peace and normalcy again. But of course, there is always a threat that if that know-how is too centralized, then that can give an advantage to very few and put into dependencies others that have no access to that type of technology. And I think that's the work we also have to do already now to make sure that know-how and understanding of implications of that technology and what can happen if those type of breaks of cryptography happens, that every country can have their strategy and keep gathering their intelligence inside so they can make sure that when we're gonna be reestablishing, the world after, that they have something to say, that they are part of the conversation and they are not being left behind.
So, Anna, what is this post-quantum cryptography? How do you think it is different from the existing cryptography? So, what exactly it is?
So when we defined our cryptography, we defined it as a difficult mathematical problems for classical computers. Now, and that would be a factoring of prime numbers or of big numbers. And now, what we can do with or elliptic curves, right? Because those are two mainly used mathematical problems for our cryptography. But now with post-quantum cryptography, we use different mathematical problems that at the moment we are quite sure, as sure as we can be, that they are difficult for quantum computers to solve. And that's the main difference. So they are, again, even more difficult for the classical computers, but on top of that, they are also difficult for quantum computers. So they should protect our cryptography. The interesting point with them, for example, comparing to quantum key distribution, is that they are also mathematical. They don't require a hardware. It's not a change of paradigm in the way we're doing cryptography. It's just more robust math.
So, I'm very much curious about this quantum teleportation. Is it a real thing? And if it is reality, uh, is it going to be make our online communication more secure? So, how it is, Anna? Can you please let us know about this?
Yeah, so teleportation is definitely real, and it's been real for many years. We had experiments. I think the interesting part is that now we are going to the state of not only discovering it and experimenting with it, but slowly bringing it to use. We are not talking about teleportation of matter. We are talking about teleportation of quantum states. That's very useful for quantum computing. If one would like to, for example, network quantum computers in a quantum way, that's what one would have to do. And yes, it's more secure in a because it offers the chance of knowing that, for example, an eavesdropper is trying to take over the data, which classical cryptography cannot offer. But teleportation uh, it's something that we are still very early on to really push it. So at the moment, the way we use it, it's very basic. We will try to see if we can have few teleport states between few qubits and allow this way of parallelization of quantum computers and enhancing their power. But in the future, I think we will use the teleportation more and more for data exchange, but that still demands a lot of research and development.
So, Anna, most common misunderstanding that the people have about this quantum cybersecurity. So we can say misunderstanding or myth. So what is your analysis on that?
I think the misunderstanding is that it's not a problem, and as we talked before, that one can wait and everything is gonna be okay. Um, it's not. It's very complex, and uh, one should just really work on it now. Make sure that you have a know-how, that you know the people, that you do a project about it. I think there's also an misconception that if you implement it, that there is just like a one magic solution. That's also on the cryptography side and also on the quantum computing side, that there's just this hope that once it's there, it will solve all the problems. But technology is dependent on our human side. It's still us that have to understand technology very well to implement it in the right way and organize the teams and management, split the problems in the right way. So it's not gonna be a sudden magical solution. It's gonna be still quite a lot of work and a lot of understanding on our side as humans. Yeah, I don't know if I heard and I think there's also like I also heard like some people that simply don't believe it will do anything, you know. So it's like you will have this very polarized. Some people will be overexcited that it will solve it, and then you will have people that completely no, it's not a thing. It's just gonna be and that's also not true. It's here already above the threat of the new technology to the cryptography. It's already happening, and there is also the quantum computing being used for solving some interesting problems. It's already here. So this disbelief in it is also not true. But the truth is, there is plenty that we still have to do to really tap into a full potential of those technologies.
Yeah. So in this context, I wanted to know, like, is it not risky, Anna, like thinking about all the disadvantages before the quantum technology comes into existence? So people are thinking about all the risks associated with this technology. So is it not risky, Anna, in this context? So we are thinking that it is going to be an inferior, it is going to be a superior technology in terms of computational power and all. But at the same time, we are frightened about these breakpoints and all. So is it not risky in this context?
Or to talk about it.
Yeah, to talk about the problems, to talk about the problems that are going to happen because of quantum computing.
No, it's not risky. I mean, you need to talk about it. It's way worse to not talk about it. It's you if you talk about it, you make sure that enough people know about it, that you can start to inspire people to take education in that direction. And so the only thing you risk is that you will have lots of people educated in that direction, and this giant breakthrough will not come. So what is the worst thing that happens when you have highly educated people in quantum cryptography? Well, they're probably going to be just fine on the market. They're going to be highly educated people that can solve, difficult things, and they're going to find other jobs. They will adapt to the market. So there is sometimes this talk about like, is that irresponsible to encourage people to follow it? What if it doesn't come, when they have to go to they go to the market to find their jobs? I would say, well, we are not risking anything in inspiring lots of people to study difficult things. we will always need smart, well-educated people. If it won't be for those problems, then for others. It's much worse to not talk about those problems. Because that's what happens if we are really prepared, really updated everything. And let's say it never happens. The quantum computing will disappoint us and it will never reach the potential we are dreaming about, right? Well, then we have a better cryptography, probably more robust to AI attacks, all those things. We just have them. They just better, more secure. We probably developed a lot of tech on the way and things like this. You can think about it as like with the moonshot, like, yes, going to the moon didn't open the doors to us immediately going, for, consistently more to the moon. Like we don't have a base based on what happened in 60s, 70s, all of that didn't translate to a whole new opportunity, but it created so much tech anyway. So and that I think it's what we are risking. On the other hand, if we don't do anything, well, I wouldn't say we doomed, but we definitely in a lot of trouble. I don't want to exaggerate the drama, but one can totally imagine chaos. And I would claim that Corona, that's zero chaos comparing to what it could be if we are not talking about it, not preparing ourselves on.
Well said, Anna. That is really a wonderful explanation. It is always good to talk about the risk. Then only we will be ready with better solutions, as you rightly told. So here I wanted to know, Anna, what simple steps these companies can take to use these quantum computers in the nearby future, as we are thinking it is going to be very real in the coming days. So what are the simple steps these companies can take to use these quantum computers in their day-to-day usage? What do you say about it?
Well, just start slow, get educated, make sure that you have someone in your organization that follow the trends, make sure that you are part of the communities. You're very welcome also to join our community, Quantum Security Defense. We, for example, meet every week with experts to exchange information because that's what it takes. It takes first to educate yourself. You need to then have at least some remote understanding what it would mean for your business. On the cybersecurity side, how impacted you will be, where is your most vulnerable site, right, which you should probably work. So all of those things you can do before try to understand more quantum on the cybersecurity and also on quantum computing for the advantage. Depending now what you will discover, right? If you were like, wow, I am developing materials, I totally should look into this quantum computing because I just learned that, that it offers so many possibilities for developing materials. Well, then you should do pilot projects. You should collaborate with people, universities, especially as an industry. You would be very welcome to participate in those projects. Also, everyone would be happy to understand what industry wants, what are the requirements. And if you are not seeing it directly, just keep an eye on it. Just exactly join a community, observe it, because you might get inspired what it could mean for you. On the other hand, on the cybersecurity, you simply should be getting into it. Start slow, educate someone on post-quantum cryptography, try to see what it would take to implement it. If your infrastructure can handle the new ways of generating keys, where is your infrastructure comparing to moving it to the post-quantum? Having all that know-how, step by step, all this know-how will make you more prepared. So once you will decide, like, well, now it's the time to move, you will be ready. And that's what you want eventually to do. If you don't have a budget now, you can also figure out what budget you could need for something like that. So it is in your strategy. It is in part of your risk, for your business. And then, like when this moment comes, we hopefully have this budget to tackle that problem. Those are all the things you can do, no matter how skeptical you are about it.
Super. That's really a great pointer towards step-by-step implementation of getting ready for a big technology that is going to happen. So we are seeing that people are planning quantum valleys, quantum cities, and all. But if they follow these kind of step-by-step procedure to implement the technology in the best possible manner, definitely it will be a great success. Finally, I wanted to ask you one thing, Anna. What
Yeah.
kind of advice you want to give to this young generation students, especially women, who want to prosper in this quantum computing field?
Well, just go into it. If you're already interested, then I think you already know that that might be something for you. I will give you an advice to not try to fit in and really figure out your own way to it. Don't get discouraged. The market will need many different type of expertise. There's going to be need for experts for sure, but there's going to be a need for people that understand it enough, but they can take care of the project management. There's going to be people needed in the future in marketing that can understand quantum computers. But so just don't worry, like allow yourself to get into this field that will be booming, that there's gonna be needs, and um just learn. There's so many opportunities, and I think that it would be wonderful that this field will not leave women behind. And I think we can bring so much to this field, and I would hope to see way more women, but not only on the engineering side, but also really going for leadership in those fields. And it's totally possible because it's going to be emerging in quantum computing, but also in quantum cybersecurity. Yeah, just go for it. You're already interested. You already know you like it. So just lean into it. And it's going to be a lot of work. Some of the things are difficult. But they're difficult for everyone. Okay, so it's not like there is someone that didn't have to go through, some of the difficulty and complexity of it, and it overwhelms a lot of people, and that's why they work on it daily, weekly. They meet, they learn, and they keep getting ahead. But I think that would be my best advice. So don't give up just because it's difficult.
That was really awesome, Anna. It was a learning experience for me. You enlightened us with all your knowledge. It was like never stopping discussion with you. I have more and more and more questions, but as we have a limited time for this podcast series, so I just try to limit my questions at this point of time. Better we find a new space and new forum to talk and discuss about this emerging field. Thank you so much for enlightening us with
Thank
all
you,
your
Rajesh.
excellent knowledge. It's really a pleasure and honor to have you in this podcast. Thank you so much, Anna.
Thank you, and I hope that there are some people that's gonna get inspired to pursue those topics.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rajesh. Bye.